Welcome to my viewer. Good evening. Good evening. How are we doing this evening? I don't know who is the one person that's in here, but you're the only one here. So this looks like it's going to be a conversation between you and I tonight, and we might have some fun. I think we're going to. So I hope it's one of my moderators. Is it one of my moderators? Possibly, maybe, could be, perhaps. So I've had hello, Steph. Hello. It's just you and I. It's just you. And now it's none. Okay, well, this one's for you, Pastor Marty. Preaching to an empty room. So today, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. It's showing that there's nobody here. So, yes, good to see you. Yo, Steph, you're the only one here. You are the only one in here. So this is a conversation between you and I right now. That's all that's going on right now. So this, something I'm sure you might have been on my TikTok live earlier this morning. And I was talking about, we're talking about being of service and all that stuff. And something else that I was talking about too was that, we get into, when we read scripture, we get into these things, and sometimes we don't have those light bulb moments, those realizations, those aha moments. So today I read more scripture throughout the day, and I was getting nothing. I got into 2 Corinthians, and it wasn't until I got to chapter 6. I read 5 full chapters in 2 Corinthians before I found anything that spoke to me, which was interesting. So, I mean, with that, I might as well share it. So this, some of the parts that spoke to me, it was in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, and I'm just going to read it through. We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of God in vain. For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in a day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of God, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, in stripes, in imprisonments, in tumults, in labors, in watchings, in fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long-suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, by love unfeigned, by the word of truth, by the power of God, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold, we live, as chastened and not killed, as sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing and yet possessing all things. That is the verse that spoke to me. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 10. As sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing yet possessing all things. I am that verse currently. I right now possess nothing, yet I have all things, because I have God on my side. And, it's another verse, no weapon forged, as long as I have God, no weapon forged by man can harm me, and then there was a couple pages before, it was another one that stuck out, of course. It's one that I've always known. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7, for we walk by faith and not by sight. So these things stick out to me. Now, Steph, bro, since it's just me and you in here, you got me, dude. What do you want? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? It could be anything. It's just you and I, dude. So last time we got up to 4 viewers. Hey, where two or more are gathered, right? Where 2 or more are gathered. Anything, is there anything that's coming up in your mind? I mean, I strive to be of service. I strive to be good. I used to be bad. I used to be awful. Like, I was hanging around the wrong crowd for a long time. I was involved in all the wrong things. I was doing all this bad stuff. I was, you know, just, I was not walking the proper path. And for all of that time, now that I look back and I realize it, I was trying to do things my way. I didn't quite understand, you know, up until just a couple months ago, that all it takes is just a little bit of faith. The faith the size of a mustard seed can accomplish many things. You know, we can do many things. And in that, you know, it's just, you know, in that whole thing. I mean, if you go to congress.gov and search HR 420, have you seen that yet? Articles have been filed officially for high crimes and other misdemeanors. That's right. Congress.gov, HR 420. Finally. I have, you know, and I have moved past all the bad, but I have to, it keeps me humble to reflect on that every once in a while, to remember those things, to remember when I was, you know, addicted to drugs and all of that, to remember those times, because that strengthens me today. That strengthens me now, remembering those super hard times. You know, do I think he's in charge? In a way, it's weird because, I mean, they're really like, he's got the football. That to me is without a doubt. And also things that stand out to me as well. There has yet to be any official order from you know, the earlobe guy. You know, some people might want to bring up the evacuation from Afghanistan. That was not ordered. That was not ordered by him, the B man. It was not. Somehow it came through chain of command. I believe it was one of the higher military generals that made that call. So there has yet to be any real official thing. And, you know, and as far as anything that we see, like on mainstream, we now, well, most of us now know that they just make stuff up. You know, we know because they've been caught time and time again, you know, setting up full-on Hollywood-style movie sets with actors and the whole nine, with makeup on and all that. You know, because we see these things only filmed by the mainstream, which is strange. And all of the people within this country, and not a single one can get any footage from their cell phone camera. Nothing at all. I haven't seen any of it. People say, oh, well, I've seen some. And then I ask them to share it with me, and I get nothing. So, yeah, it's one of those things, like, you know, and truthfully, Steph, between you and I'm beginning to think that this, I mean, depending on HR 420, of course, not to be confused with the 420. It's the articles of IMP that were filed, but sometimes, oh yeah, I've seen that whistleblower guy. Oh, I got another person in here. SHHERS 3317. Great. Now I got 2 folks in here. Yes, we're shooting for 5 this time. The last time we had 4. I'm hoping to hit 5. I'm seeing the number 2 here. Now, here's what's cool. I can tell you guys this. As far as doing YouTube lives, I'm going to get back to that point in a second, stuff. As far as doing YouTube lives, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I think. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 8 p.m. You know, in addition to my 9 a.m.s on TikTok, sometimes I do sometimes I do the morning on Saturdays. Sometimes I don't. Tomorrow I'm probably going to. But with that, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm hoping at 8 p.m. to do it on here. And if I got to preach to an empty room, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I'm not stopping. I'm not quitting. I'm not letting anything like that, take me down, because this is something that I'm pushing through on. This makes me think of my Pastor Marty. In the beginning of Pastor Marty's, career in ministry, there were times where he would go out to an empty room and speak to an empty room. I don't know why that's funny, but okay. He would go out and preach to an empty room. And there were some times where he would feel kind of embarrassed or whatever. And he would say to his wife, I'm not going out there. I'm not going out there. What's the point? And his wife would say to him, go, Marty, go. Do it. And if it wasn't for that drive and that extra support, which I mean, I don't really have, but I have him as an example to follow, and I'm being called toward it, and I hope to someday wind up in ministry. I really do. So back to what I was saying before, Steph, is that sometimes I start to think that, oh, word, okay. Sometimes I start to think that we might see these criminals complete their term. Because, I mean, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We just don't. From one day to the next, we just don't know what's going to happen. But sometimes just seeing this, because it's been 3 years. It's been 3 years. I happen to know that Marjorie Taylor Greene filed these same articles on January 21st of 2021. But for some reason that didn't count or something. I don't know. But it's been filed now. It took 3 years to do. But at the same time, we have to remember that we're watching a movie. Because on December 28th of 2020, Ukrainian officials did an hour-long press conference where they released all of the evidence they had about the whole Burisma thing. They released it all. And you can find that video because it's still up. The whole press conference. It's not on here, obviously. But if you go over to BitChute, BITCHUTE, you can just search Ukrainian press conference. I think so too. There are just far too many damn fine people in this world. There are just way too many good people to ever let it happen. And there are way too many of us that are fully awake and aware of the cabal secret handshake club plan, that they just can't continue business as usual, because we know now. And it's kind of common knowledge, mostly. It's pretty common knowledge now what they were going for. It was the 16-year plan with the all of that. And if they had their way, I wouldn't be here right now talking with you. You wouldn't be there right now watching me. We would already be inside of a fence somewhere. And the furnaces would be on blast, if you get my drift. So yeah, I'm gonna show this with you. I'm gonna share this with you guys. Give me 1 second. So I went to the library today. I'm looking forward to this. I went to the library today and I got this. It's the Newt Gingrich book. Obviously, it's called Trump's America. So the truth about our nation's great comeback. I'll read the back of it for you. It says praise for the #1 New York Times bestseller, Understanding Trump. Inspiring and informative. I highly recommend it. By Sean Hannity says that. Excuse me. Newt gets it. If you already get it, Understanding Trump will be a welcome reminder that you were right and they were wrong, and that you're on the right side of this chapter in American history. If you don't get it, but are willing to keep an open mind, Understanding Trump will help you. Understand Trump. That's from the Daily Caller. Also, the last one from the Washington Times says, make sure to pick this book up. Gingrich brings a unique perspective on any topic he chooses to write on, combining historical awareness with public policy, public policy wonkishness. His prose sounds just like he talks, which is to say, both interesting and informative. That's from the Washington Times. So I'm looking forward to getting into this one. I haven't started it yet, but I'm thinking I'm going to after this live tonight. I'm going to crack into that. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. Have you guys read any good books lately? Do you guys read? Let's see. It's going to take more time though. I think so too. So what I'm thinking is going to take more time is the financial aspect of it, because we got to have the justice first. We gotta clear it out before we can really make this transition. That's what I think, because none of these jokers can have credit for it. Absolutely not. So that's what I think. Yeah. And you know who else they slam is Simon. People slam Simon because they don't like hearing what he's got to say. They don't like hearing it's going to take time. People don't like hearing that. So instead of taking it for what it is, screw you, Graham, or screw you, Dave, or screw you, Monica. Dr. Joe Dispenser. Okay, cool. Nice. I haven't heard of that one. I think it's going to take some time. I think the financial transition is going to take time. How long? I don't know for sure. I can't really say. And I'm holding to my discipline and not giving any dates or timeframes. Graham thinks it's going to be about 5 more years until the financial transition is fully done. But within that time, I think we're going to be watching a hell of a show, because there's a lot of justice that needs to be handed out. So, and also don't forget that Derek Johnson is going down to Cuba in July to report. I wonder what he's going to be reporting on. So who knows what's to come? I'm excited. I'm good. I feel good. I feel okay. You know what else I've done? As more and more so recently, as I have completely unplugged from the mainstream. It seems to me that even the guys like X22 and We Know and even David Nino Rodriguez, even them, they are catering to the mainstream headlines. And by doing that, they are only perpetuating what's being generated from the fear factory, which is lies. I feel like they got sucked in. They've sort of run out of things to talk about, I guess. Sure, they do their interviews and whatever. I would love nothing more than the opportunity to interview Juan myself. I would love nothing more than the opportunity to interview with Simon. I would love nothing more than to get an interview with Dave from X22. I would love nothing more than to get an interview with LT from And We Know. But I guess I'm not cool enough. I don't know. I think I'm pretty cool. I think so, right? We got 3 people in here. We got 3. We're shooting for 5. It's been 20 minutes, So there's 3 folks in here, and I'm glad to have you. Where 2 or more are gathered, the Lord is present. So the things we've been talking about, we talked about some scripture that spoke to me today. This is in reference to what I was talking about earlier in my TikTok live. I have nothing, and I read 5 whole chapters in 2 Corinthians before I found anything that spoke to me, and it was chapter 6, verse 10. As sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing yet possessing all things. that reminds me that even though I have nothing in terms of finances and monetary and material things, even though I have near nothing, I still feel infinitely wealthy inside. You know, it's really something. Like, it's sure, it's tough. Sometimes it gets frustrating. And I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to lie at all. Like, it does get frustrating. I think about it. I get concerned about it. You know, I'm continuing on anyways. You know, and at this point having, oh boy. I hope so. I hope to one day. I hope. I mean, I pray that one day, you know, I get the attention of somebody that's, you know, that's got pull somewhere, and I get some kind of offer. But I will not. I absolutely will not sell out. If I accept an offer from anything, anywhere, with anybody, they have to take me as I am. It has to be no restrictions. As soon as they say, oh, you can't say this or you can't talk about this, I'm out. I'm out. See ya. I don't care if they offer me $1 billion. It doesn't matter. If I can't be my authentic self as you guys have come to know me, I want nothing to do with it. And that's the truth. I will not take hush money. I won't. Absolutely not. I will not do it. So, and that's why I'm doing this thing where, you know, I ask for donations, even though it still kind of makes me feel weird and funny, and I don't really like how it looks, but that's beside the point. I'm trying to progress so that I can be a better service to my community, to my crowd, to my people, to myself, to my family, to everyone. So I can get better equipment, so I can get mobile, so I can do these things. You know, and there's only one person in here, so I'm not going to go through the spiel. I'm really not. But, you know, I will tell you this, for the one person that's in here, for the time that I've been doing it, the details are hold on one second. The details are down in the description of this. I'll also hold it up. That's DAVIDAD. I made a mistake on the second one because I had to write it backwards so the camera can see it. Are you good? You know, it's also in the description of this video. I put it in the description of each video that I upload on YouTube. You know, in hopes. It's really something that you know, I just, all right, cool. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and thank you anyways, whether or not. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate you, you know, even inquiring. You know, I'm at that point. What does RAW stand for? I'm not sure what Steph was referring to, but I think what he may have meant, the way I took it anyways, was, you know, my authentic self, being my raw self, 100% me, in all of my authenticity and all of my integrity. I won't take any offers from anyone. I won't take any hush money from anyone. As soon as they say you can't say this or you can't talk about that, I'm out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the offer is. So whoever, whenever, if ever, that's the way it's got to be. That's the way it's got to be. It has to be that way because I won't do it otherwise. If I can't be myself 150%, I'm out. Simple as that. Still drinking my sucralose drinks. I don't know how long it's going to take me to phase that crap out, but I gotta. In time, I will. So sorry. Oh, so, you do? Maybe try refreshing your page. That sometimes helps. So check this out. Isn't this a beautiful Bible? My grandmother got me this. It's got the gold leaf pages. It's got all the little things where you can flip to each book. In the back, it has the Bible in a year. It has a prayer reference thing. It tells you, like, I'll go through one thing. So let's do this for the people that are in here. Because when you're feeling any particular emotion, what type of like uncomfortable emotions are you feeling right now? Whether it be uncertainty or fear or anything like that. What are you guys getting? So when you feel this way, this thing has a great guide for that. So verse finder. So it's like this is about acceptance, assurance. So caring, comfort, compassion. And it tells you, gives you specific verses. See what I mean? I know it's backwards, but so like, let's try this one. When you feel, let's do this. When you feel criticized, it says, so Proverbs 13:18. We're gonna jot these down real quick. Proverbs 13:18, 15:31 and 32. Okay. So let's just do those. So this says when you feel criticized. It says go to Proverbs 13:18. So let's check this out. Let's go back. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, Samuel, Kings, Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs. It's after Psalms. Got it. Yeah. So is it Proverbs 13:18? So we're getting to that. When you feel criticized. Oh, Psalms is a long book. I forgot. Here we go. Proverbs 13:18. Let's go back a few pages. There's 11, 12, 13, 16. So Proverbs 13:18 says, when you feel criticized, poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. Now, sometimes people have a hard time with the King James Version, which is why I also have the New International Version. So we're going to check that too. So it's going to be Proverbs 13:18. In the New International. Proverbs 13:18 in the New International Version says, whosoever disregards discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored. Isn't that amazing? So I just read it from the King James Version and I didn't really feel it. But then when I read it from New International, now it makes more sense. So it's important to have those versions. I also did a video on YouTube on my channel where I broke down what is it? 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verses 34 and 35, where it talks about it is a shame for women to speak in the church. You know, and I took that to my pastors and they made me do research on it. And I ended up doing a video breakdown of it, which turned out wonderfully, if you ask me. So that's a 14-minute video. If you want to check that out later on my channel, please do. Also, I will tell you that once I get to 1,100 subscribers on YouTube, I'm giving away a free copy of Kid by the Side of the Road by Juan Osavin. A free copy that I still don't have. Listen, I ordered those books on April 1st. On April 1st, no joke. And I still don't have them. They took my money immediately. They made sure of that. But I still don't have my books. And I've sent several emails about it. And I have yet to get a response. So I'm beginning to wonder if Juan O. Savin stole $35 from me. Because I still don't have my books. And we are, let's see, tomorrow will be day 50. 50 days. And I haven't gotten my books, and I haven't gotten a response to my emails about where my books are. So until I get a response, which is amazing. It really is something. You know, I really do I really do appreciate you being here. I do, man. Steph, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you did. You have no idea how much that means to me. Not just the number, but that means so many things. I hope that in time, you know, I can be of better service to all of you in so many ways, in every way that I can. I've committed to this. No matter what. My work, like I said, is not contingent on that. You know, but it's one of those necessary things. It's going to help me be better of service. It's going to help me be a better service. I appreciate that stuff. And I'm, you know, here, I'll tell you a story real quick. So, as it stood yesterday, I had $8 to my name. 8. Okay. I went up to the church last night for the guest speaker event. Okay. And I put 4 of that $8 in the box at church. Even though I have nearly nothing, I still give. So know that. And it doesn't matter whether you're the planter or the waterer, Steph, for it was God who gave us the increase. And for that, I thank you humbly. So moving on, I mean, this has been a good live anyway. You know, it's important, you know, like the way that I saw it, you know, like the way I see it is oh really? You had to create a channel in order to participate, in order to get on the live. That's weird. That's odd. So maybe you needed to have like a username or something so you could watch lives. That's odd. That's very strange. So anyways, back to what I was saying. I feel it was important, like, because the way that I saw it, you know, even though it was the last $8 I had to my name, I believed that the church could take half of that. The church could use that $4 way better than I could. You know, something else that I've gotten involved in too is it's actually coming up this Wednesday. Is Pastors Ryan and Marty, they order a tractor trailer, a truck full of fresh produce every 2 weeks. We park it in the parking lot down the street here, open up the parking lot, and we give it all away. Isn't that something? Isn't that amazing? Every 2 weeks, they do that. A tractor trailer load full of produce. potatoes, apples, salad. Yes, give. That's exactly it. Give way more than you ever expect to receive. And that's one of my disciplines. That's become one of my disciplines. Although, even during times where I have nothing, I try to be of service in any way that I can. Oh, hello, Catherine from Canada. Look at that. We got 2 people in here. I think it's like 3 people now. This thing doesn't catch up right away. The number doesn't show like accurately. So I'm glad you're here. Hello in Canada. So listen, Catherine, I have a friend that's in Canada, and she told me that they're talking about, she said they were talking about taking away certain services from people who didn't get the thing. Is that true? Have you heard about that? Bruce, Catherine, have you guys heard about that? I mean, obviously that goes directly against the charter, right? But are they talking about it? Have you all heard about that? That they're looking to take, they're looking to make certain services inaccessible. Yeah, maybe it is old, but listen, Catherine, Bruce, I wouldn't let that scare you. If you feel that fear, oh yeah, you mean, yeah, Castro. Spell it out. Castreau. Got it? Yeah. I don't know what the hell is going on. What bothers me too is when it comes to protesting, it seems like people can go out and protest and do all that stuff, even if it's peaceful, if it's truly First Amendment type protest, all of that. It's all fear tactics. You're absolutely right. Even with protest, it seems like it never gets any results. People go out and they protest, picket sign, I made a sign, I'm so mad, I made a sign, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be here for 2, 3 days, 4, 5, 6, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then they all just go home. And then everyone forgets about it. Like the trucker convoy. Whatever happened after that? Besides nothing. Those are the things that kind of get me frustrated. Is like, what did people do all that for? Listen, going out and doing all that costs people time, money, resources, fuel, everything. And for many, it cost them their freedom to practice their First Amendment right. Yeah. Bruce, I say, and when it comes to all that, I say be smart. Be smart. Because when it comes to that, there are many better ways to protest. We can protest much better with how we go about our lives than we ever could with picket signs and stuff. For example, support local business. That you can do it silently, and you can get some good quality stuff for yourself without risking your freedom, without risking your health, without risking your safety, without risking your without risking anything. You can go and protest by supporting local business. That too, Catherine, that too. Yes, there are many ways. There are many ways to protest, and it doesn't always have to be, picket sign, this, that, whatever. We can do it every day just by the choices we make, where we choose to do business. That is our freedom in practice. I will gladly, even though I have nearly nothing, I will gladly pay the extra few dollars to support local business than to save $2 or $3 and support one of those corporations. That is a much more effective protest than anything else, in my opinion. There are many solid, good, safe ways to do that. I got all y'all in Canada in my prayers. Like I've been thinking about a lot about that. It seems like on the American side, they haven't been doing much talking about Canada. Of course, I haven't been paying much attention to it at all because I've completely unplugged from the mainstream because we know what they do now. Support mom and pop shops. Yeah. Awesome, Bruce. Awesome. I refuse. Yes, that too. Did y'all see that video where people banded together and they all lined up to be cashed out by a human and refused to use the self-checkouts? Did you guys see that? I plan to do that now. Like after seeing that I plan to do that every time now. I will demand it. Absolutely. 100%. Because really and truly, that technology, sure, it's convenient and all that stuff, but it's taking away the livelihoods of our fellow citizens. It's taking away the jobs and livelihoods of our neighbors. Yes, they do want. Yes, they do want it that way, but they won't get it. You know why? 2A. The Second Amendment is our one and only insurance policy against total tyranny. They can puff off and talk all they want. And here's another thing, folks. I'm going to say this. I'm going to take a chance and say this. There's a lot of people talking reckless, trying to say we got to go out and take action and do this stuff. We got to go and do it. You know what I mean? No. That would be playing directly into their hand. Because then they would be justified in saying, okay, Marshall, we're going to round y'all up and lock you away. So unless those light blue helmets show up at your door, hold the line. Be cool. And there's a lot of talk, like there's a lot of people throwing around the term civil war. That means we fight our neighbors. I don't know about you, but I ain't got no problem with none of my neighbors. I love my community. I love all my people around here. It's not my neighbors that are the issue. Nobody at the checkout. Someone pointed me to the self-checkout and I asked for a person because I would. Yeah, awesome. That's fantastic, Bruce. And I plan to make that a discipline going forward too. I'm guilty. I've done the self-checkout a few times, whatever. I've done it more than a few times. If we're being honest here, I've done it more than a few times. But really, now that I've seen that, now it makes sense to me. Now that I've seen other people, my fellow human beings doing that, I get it now. And we're making a difference that way. There are great, wonderful, peaceful ways to make a difference, to make the changes. I believe that what's going on right now is what folks like us like-minded people have been going for and talking about and doing and cultivating for our entire lives. Because Bruce, Catherine, Steph, I would be willing to bet that you guys, just like me, when you were young, just had that little feeling in your mind that something wasn't right, that there just has to be more to life than what they've given us. Anybody hear me there? Anybody feel that? Anybody have that thought for a long time, even back to when you were a kid? I did. I have. Yes, my whole life. And I've always had this belief that there just has to be more. I've completely despised the current monetary system since the day I understood it. The day I realized if you don't have this, you will die. The day I truly realized that was the day I realized there was a big problem. Yep. I did too, Catherine. I have too. And it took me a long, long time, 35 years, as a matter of fact, to find my calling. I was an outcast too. And you know what? I believe that it was ultimately me being this way, being like you guys, which also played into my time in addiction. I believe that it did, because I was always longing for those. I was always looking for those emotions. And what those substances did was created those emotions that I was longing for. And I will tell y'all, next month I celebrate 17 years. On June 17th, 2023, I will be 7 years. 7 years clean. Isn't that something? Isn't that something too, Steph? Thank you. Isn't that something? I don't really talk much about all that old stuff because it's not my story anymore. Sure, I had a battle with it. Food too. Sure, I had a battle with it, but it's not my story anymore. I hear you, Bruce. Check it out, y'all. This was a Wonka bar. Once in a while, on occasion. Hey, Heidi, my moderator's here. Awesome. Glad to have you. Guys, I may go longer than an hour tonight. Because we're starting to get into it now. Now we're starting to have some fun. Got 3 people here, looking for 5. You know what else is amazing, Bruce? Is I live in New York. I live in New York State. Okay? I live in the state of New York. One of the most hardcore states in the country. I do know you on TikTok, Bruce. I do indeed. So I live in New York, upstate New York, one of the most hardcore states in the country. And it's legal here. Yes, that's you, Bruce. That's you. It's legal here, which is incredible. I never thought that would happen. I thought New York would have been the last one to do it. There are literally storefronts. You can just walk in and get it. Because personally, I believe it has wonderful medicinal properties. Okay, Maine, that's awesome. Do you like it up there in Maine? I got a couple of friends that moved up to Maine. They moved up there. They love it. They've got their little homestead going on. They grow plants, they garden, they do all this stuff. Heidi, you're in California. Could you switch weather with me? Could I send you this weather and take your California weather? What part of California though? Because I noticed that in California, because it's such a huge state, if you're in LA, like I would love to have LA weather here, 75 and sunny every single day. Every single day, 75 and sunny. 75 and sunny every single day. I would love that. Oh, okay, so Southern California. So you're how close are you to LA? Oh yes, Canada. Gotcha. Okay, Canada above Maine. Got it. Okay, so that's like Eastern Canada. So is that like where is Saskatchewan or Saskatchewan? Is that like in the middle somewhere? Is that north of like Ottawa and that? Okay, 1 hour from LA. Okay, that's awesome. So are you south of LA? I'm sorry, not to give you this to put you on the spot or nothing. I'm I'm about uh I don't know. I'm about 45 minutes west of Rochester, New York is where I'm at. Little town. So funny. So something else that I could get into for you guys. I did a couple of videos on like doing web research. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut out on you. That just did a weird thing. Anyhow, I've done a couple of videos on doing web research. Okay, so you're above like the St. Lawrence River. So I've done some videos on doing web research because I've come to realize in time that having been part of the generation that literally grew up with the internet, the knowledge that I have when it comes to computers and technology and internet research and doing all that, the knowledge that I assumed was commonplace is not very commonplace. After I did my video called Research 101, I had a person that age 62 reach out to me and say, "Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I understand it now." And you know what saddens me? Like, because my grandmother is 86 years old. Okay. She wants she wants to learn how to navigate the internet. And nobody in my family will make time for that, for her, to show her how to do it, to set her up. She can do basic things. I send her some of my YouTube videos and that, and but it's very simple, but it's very intimidating to her. She's concerned that she's going to click on the wrong thing or touch the wrong thing, and it's going to screw the thing up for her. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all for that. Having those reservations and being nervous about that stuff is normal. I would love nothing more than to have a day where I get to go and spend and sit with my grandmother. Oh, I know about New Brunswick. Okay, I get it now. I would love nothing more than to go and sit with my grandmother and go through all that stuff and take a few hours with her to show her how to navigate her iPad and to show her some of the really awesome things and features that are on it. Sorry, I don't want to talk about family stuff too much because I realize that this is the internet, and they could very easily just come on here and watch it and see it. I mean, it's my opinion either way, but this is what I think. This is my life. This is my view, and my sister very much agrees with me. We grew up in a very hostile household with narcissists and all that craziness going on. But anyways, we've learned to lean on each other, and it's come to a point now where Mary, my sister, and I are finding our way. I am finding my way sort of unconventionally, doing this internet online stuff, trying to make my way this way, using the gifts that I've been given, being my voice and my knowledge and my wisdom and my research and my skills on computer stuff and technology, trying to make my way this way, which I feel very called to do. And I hope to eventually end up in ministry at someday. But for right now, I'm just going to keep serving. So I will give you guys, I don't post much on Telegram. Hang on one second. I will tell you guys what my Telegram channel is, or the public one anyways. 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna have to write this down. And I got to do it backward. Oh, never mind. I'm going to tell you. I will tell you. So, oh, I can actually, I think I can type it into the comments. So I'm going to add into the comments my Telegram channel. I have some things posted on there, some things that are worth looking at, but I haven't posted anything on there in some time. I think I'm going to though. You guys see that? That's my Telegram channel. That's the public one. The most recent post I made was January 15th of 2022. So it's been more than a year since I posted anything on Telegram, but I may continue to do so. I may do that now. I may start posting things on Telegram just to have it as a backup and all that stuff. I posted quite a few things on there. You know what's fun? I'm going to read some of these to you. I got a bunch of stuff on there. Oh, you guys are going to have fun on my Telegram channel. Wow, there's a lot. I did way more than I thought I did. Oh, yeah. Wow. You guys are going to love it. You guys are going to love what I've got posted on Telegram on that channel. I typed some things out on here. So 1 second. Oh, I did the TED talk about deep fakes. Oh man, you guys are going to have a blast. Look at this. I got to see the date of this. 1 second. I wish I knew what date this was. Oh, shit. So there are some videos of me on Telegram. You can't really tell here. Can't really see it very good, but I was fat in that video. This one too. Look at that. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. I'm going to show you guys this. Look at. Oh yeah, you guys are going to love that on Telegram. Oh, you can't? Let me see if I can 1 second. Let me see if I can so my actual Telegram channel where you can actually connect with me is this one. Hang on 1 second. There's another one for you. It's at David. Oh, never mind. Sorry about that highlighted thing. But it's all one word. Let me do that again. There you go. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, you get it. It's all one thing. At David AD23. That's the personal channel. That's the personal one where you can like message me in that. So for the three of you that are in here, you now have access to me through Telegram. Although I don't I'm not really on there too much. I gotta mess with it. Oh, look at that. There's a picture of me without my beard. Very, very cool. It's fun to look at that. It's very fun to look at that. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys asked me about that. So here's what I'm going to do too. I'm going to scroll back, show you guys the difference. Now, this whole thing started with my reading of Kid by the Side of the Road on TikTok. I did that in 41 parts. Now, what I'm going to show you is part 1 of Kid by the Side of the Road that I started on March 6th of this year. Awesome. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate that. Hold on. We're going back. If you can see that, that's me in Kid by the Side of the Road Part 1. Let me turn the brightness down. And look at me now. Here, let me take my glasses off. Still the same guy, still the same person. But even I can see the difference. All right, awesome, Bruce. Good, glad you were here. I'll be probably on tomorrow morning on TikTok, so we'll see you then. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that it's just been a real change. You know, like the way people have said it is like you're glowing now. I've found my passion. I've found my way. I've found my calling. I've found my purpose. And you guys, if you guys are thinking about becoming a content creator, if you guys are thinking about getting on there and starting to do videos, I'm glad you were here too, Bruce. I'm really glad you were here. I'm really glad you were here. This YouTube thing is difficult. It's difficult to do. Excuse me. But I hope someday, Steph, I hope before I get too old, you know, I never actually thought about, for the longest time, most of my life, up until kind of recently, I was always like, I don't think I ever want to have kids. I've had relationships in the past and all that. My last serious relationship ended in 2016. And it was my fault because I was still using back then and I was lying to her about it. And I feel really terrible that I did all those things, but that's how it went. My last serious relationship ended in 2016. Right. You've got 9. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, Bruce, don't let that intimidate you. It doesn't take much. Listen, if you want to get in because now you got my Telegram, like you could reach out to me and you know, I could, you'd have to, the thing is, I've done a few things in the past being like trying to make videos and all that stuff, but it wasn't until I found my niche. It wasn't until I found something that I could talk about extensively. Yeah. Glow up. You know, it takes some practice, it takes some time, you know, but you know what's also kind of strange is, you know, I still get new followers in that, but as far as like my TikTok crowd is concerned, it hasn't really grown much lately. And that's okay. You know why? Excuse me. I look at every single follower, every single person that follows me. I look at their profiles. I check out their videos. I'll tell you guys this because we're on YouTube, because I won't say it over there on TikTok. But if anybody follows me, I have a criteria. If somebody follows me and they have no username, it's just the computer generated one, like user 1234556. If it says that at the top and under the thing, if they have no profile picture and no videos and they follow me, they get blocked. They get blocked, and don't post links, of course. But like if someone can't take the time, yeah, I know a little bit about a lot of things too, but if someone can't take the time to show some sign of human life behind their profile, I have to assume you're a bot. Because what type of TikTok account, okay, has no custom username, no profile picture, no videos, and somehow has several hundred followers? Really? Really? But that's okay, Catherine, because you have a custom username. It's not, you don't have just user 1234556. You also have a profile picture. Yeah, it has to meet all of the criteria. Like it has to be all of these things. So no videos, no custom username, and no profile picture. Okay. If you have a custom username, no picture, and no videos, that's okay. If you have no custom username, but you have some videos where it's actually a person speaking, where it's you speaking, then it's good. But if you have no videos, no profile picture, and no custom username, those are the three boxes to be checked. If you check all those boxes, you're out. Simple as that. And that's fine. And that's fine, Steph. At least you have something. You have something there. I'll show you one. I'll show you one. Hang on one second. The heck? Why is it taking me there? Hold on one second. So it's the ones that look like that. See, like right where my thumb is. If you have no profile picture, no custom username, and no videos, if you check all three boxes, all right, Bruce, have a good night. Then you get blocked automatically. Right. Yes. And that's why I block them. That's why I block them immediately. You know what else I do every single day? I search my own username looking for people that are trying to make fake accounts. That's also why I have my settings set up so where you guys can't nobody can download any of my videos to their device. You know how you can you can download the video and save it to your phone. That's how people create those fake accounts. They'll create the fake accounts, they'll download a bunch of my videos, and then they'll re-upload them as if they were me. So in order to stop that, I made it so nobody can download my videos and re-upload them. The best they can do is screen record, and that looks so obvious. So you'd be able to tell. Also, you know, I made a video that's pinned at the top of my profile. Nobody wants to copy me. Nobody wants to try and make a phony account for me because I've made a public declaration and I pinned it at the top of my profile that I will never privately message anyone about investments, readings, or asking for money, anything like that. The only time I will ask for anything like that is during my lives, like right now, where I hold up this sign. You know, if anyone is blessed in that regard, you know, someone has helped me out a little bit today, and I appreciate them for that. You know, it's the beginning. If you're blessed in that regard and you can do so, great. If not, great. My work is not contingent on it. The information is also down in the description of all of my videos here on YouTube, because I will not sell out. I will not sell out. I've already been offered. I've already gotten an offer. They said, we will pay you. I can't say the amount. We will pay you X amount, but you can't talk about anymore. And I said, no, thanks. I said, nope, keep it. I'm going to continue. I will not accept hush money. I won't. If anybody is going to offer me something and make an offer to me to have me for them for advertising or whatever it is, it has to be 100% my authentic self. Totally and completely. There is no amount, none, that will make me change who I am. because when it comes to being without, I know how to do that. I know how to make that work. I know how to get through. It's tough. It sucks. It's not fun, but I know how to do it. And I would prefer to temporarily struggle rather than accept some kind of offer at the cost of my liberties. So just know that, guys. I've seen so many people. I've seen so many creators sell out. I'm not going to drop names, but yeah. The guy who took over for Rush Limbaugh, the guy who took over for him, in a way took over for him. In a way, I feel he sold out because he's got that ball and chain. There are certain things he can't talk about anymore after accepting their offer. There are several of them. And I won't be one of them. I won't do it. Absolutely not. I just looked up at the clock. We've been on 1 hour and 11 minutes. That's 111. By the way, once I get to, speaking of 111, once I get to 1,000, sorry, just a second. Once I get to 1,100 subscribers on YouTube, I'm giving away a copy of Kid by the Side of the Road by 107, which I'm still waiting for my new copies that I ordered 49 days ago and still haven't gotten any. I still haven't gotten them, and I still haven't gotten a response to any of the emails. That's how much of the world can be bought off. For real though. You are exactly who you are supposed to be. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am. And it's the book. Okay, so Steph, if you follow me on TikTok or on my Rumble, hold on one second. Do you follow me on TikTok, Steph, or Rumble, any of those? Kid by the Side of the Road is the real history of how we got to this point. It explains where the secret handshake clubs came from and all of that. It's a historically accurate book. And on my TikTok, at the top of my library, if you slide over to the right or left or whatever, it would be to the right, but sliding your finger to the left. It's labeled KBTSOTR. And I did that in 41 books were in 41 parts where I read the entire book in video form. Let me just a sec. So I had a head injury too. You see the scars? They wrap all the way around my head. So this on the front, it says, "We've all been bystanders watching events go by, not understanding their true meaning." I'll give you a quick snippet. This is page 1 of Kid by the Side of the Road. As a country, one thing people forget in this modern era is that we've been in a national crisis numerous times, far more than people care to recall. We do remember September, and some of us were around during President Kennedy's assassination. Then there was Abraham Lincoln's assassination 150 years ago. But there's a common theme that's been going through all of those crises that I think we need to revisit today. And that is about who is actually behind the scene orchestrating these events that we are continually put into. It is always unique players in new situations, or is there an underlying theme and a common group of perpetrators with these crimes against America and the world? Is there an organization of people trying to keep us enslaved? Now, if you go back to the origins of our country, there were people who came to this continent and set up colonies, growing up the population until it was eventually large enough that local jurisdictions were needed to manage and maintain the organizations of streets, taxes, tariffs, property ownership, etc. Then came the creation of the constitutional government from groups and states aligned and working together. So then it gets into all the rest of the history. So that's the first paragraph. That's the first two paragraphs of the book. It has some beautiful illustrations in it. See, my profile picture. That's where it came from. It's pretty good here in the good old US of A. And it's only going to get better. It's even going to get better for you guys in Canada. It's going to get better for the entire world, really. It's going the world, we are headed toward a very, very beautiful way of life. For the first time in my life, I look forward to the world that we will have when my niece, who is 10 years old, when she turns 18, the world will be a very, very different place, and it will be a very, very beautiful place, full of abundance for all, and liberty, and freedom, and justice, and love, and peace. It's going to be wonderful, guys. It's going to be so wonderful. It really is going to be so, so wonderful. Because there are just way too many good people in this world to let anything other than that happen. We are at the point where we will not allow these terrible things to continue. One way or another. We will not allow it. You know, and I see, oh yes, Steph, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. All of it. All of it.